Thanks for tuning into the channel. Day 21, 48 days with the 48 laws. Um, play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick then is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you are. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. So this one's pretty simple. I mean, it's really just coming down to, once again, psychology, um, and just the way individuals really react. So the story that's brought up is Arnold and Slack, basically a pair of con men. They con some of the richest. What was the guy's name? Harpending, and like Rothschild and some of the richest financiers of the time with this gold mine. And basically, what they do is they dress up like country simpletons, and they basically tell Harpending, we found this freaking mine, this crazy thing. Look at these rubies. Check if they're real. I'm telling you, this is a great deal. They check if they're real. The rubies are real. They go back. They send some people to go with him. They basically go with them. They find a couple uncut diamonds and rubies on the ground. They have it checked again by a third party. They're real. And then the last point, they send another expert, their own expert, out to the same place. They check, and then he finds some rubies. He basically saying, yeah, this place is chock full. They get in, and then they basically find out that the mine really wasn't full of rubies and diamonds. Those were just planted there for the hoax. But it's really not, the story's not that big of a deal. It's more about the fact that the way that they played them was not by putting those diamonds down and having the fake. Obviously that helped, but the big thing was whenever they brought them to places where they would mingle, Arnold and Slack appeared like idiots. They like tried to act like they weren't. When they went to the city, they were in awe of everything, and they were just so kind of caught up with the moment, and that they weren't catching on that obviously if you could find this amount of diamonds and rubies this fast, it's going to be a way greater proportion. But basically they sold over the rights, completely legal. They found it. They didn't find any more diamonds for Harpending and his team, but Arnold and Slack legally got all their money and did whatever they wanted with it. The basic whole premise of this chapter and law is that people don't want to feel stupid. Like, generally people want to brag about how smart they are, brag about how great they are, but inside you're making other people feel insecure, and that can bite you in the back in the end, especially if you're trying to pull something over on somebody, as they're going to always think that you have something up your sleeve. As if you put a step back, damper your intelligence, and people won't really suspect you doing anything because they don't really suspect much of you to begin with, and that's a way better position to be in if you want to just be in a position where you're more maneuverable. You don't want to be heavily scrutinized in the way of people one, are intimidated and threatened by you, and then looking at your moves as attacks on them. You'd rather look at like an innocuous person, innocuous creature, and we don't really need to focus on them. And then when you are ready to make a move or make a strike, it just catches everybody off guard, which would also lead into other laws that have already been covered, and that's how they kind of intertwine. There was a reversal on this. I mean, there are some times like where you need to kind of be the professor, but I don't even think it's as much worth noting. I mean, you can read if you really want to get that deeper into it. I think a bigger thing is that don't try to sound smart just to sound smart, because that catches a lot of people, I guess, in this trap, myself included, where you just kind of want to show what you know just to almost make yourself feel better that you know something. And in this whole game of power and throughout this whole book, I mean, that is like a general theme, is that fulfilling your ego, you need to remove yourself and unattach yourself from circumstances and your ego, or you're going to be kind of caught up in these situations where you're doing things to make yourself happy in the moment, and then it pisses somebody off in the future, and you can't control them, and you never know what they're thinking, and then they take it back and live it out on you later on. So That's it for this one. Chapter 21. Link in the description where you can pick up your copy of the book. It's your boy Devin Coates. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, peace.